She was the daughter of a grocer
I will never be truly one of them.
who became the leader of a nation.
It's time to put the great back into Great Britain.
In a world where men had the power,
I've done battle every day of my life.
she had the courage.
We shall never give in.
You've been an inspiration to women like myself.
One's life must matter, Dennis.
You're supposed to be a mother! You're a monster!
It's about the journey to power and the reconciliation once power is lost.
Mrs. Thatcher, welcome to the madhouse.
The new leader of the Conservative Party, Margaret Thatcher.
Are you saying you want to be Prime Minister?
It's funny, witty, great pathos, great storytelling.
If you want to change this party, lead it.
And the Right Honourable Lady denies
If you want to change the country, lead it.
that her free market economics ensures that the rich get richer and the poor are irrelevant.
She didn't have a problem with how to lead, and so, in a way, men didn't have so much problem knowing how to follow.
Gentlemen, shall we join the ladies?
Every day I wake up and I think, thank God I'm not the leader of the free world or something.
We are now one split nation. That's your plan, is to break the trade union movement.
The miners are being starved back to work. The need is desperate.
When I read this amazing screenplay for The Iron Lady, it immediately struck me that it's not a political film. In fact, it's a Shakespearean story of a great leader, both tremendous and flawed.
Margaret, one must be careful not to test one's colleagues' loyalties.
Car bomb has exploded outside Harrods department store, killing 6 people and injuring 17.
There are those who would say hold back.
The IRA claimed
There
responsibility.
are those who would make us retreat.
The Falkland Islands.
But we shall never give in to them. We shall never waver, not for a second.
She had a huge impact on the nation. We're still living with it. I don't know that any politician, any prime minister has divided a country so utterly.
She was detested for her policies, and also many people thought she was great.
She was a conviction politician. The public responded to this uncompromising leader with uncompromising reactions.
It was scary. You know, I was sitting in the back of the car when protesters were banging on the windows, and your heart starts to race. I mean, it is terrifying.
Mrs. Thatcher had this great capacity that she didn't want to be liked. She wanted to do what was right, and she told people what was right, and people thought that was authoritarian and bullying at the time.
Your problem, some of you, is that you haven't got the courage for this fight. No, you haven't had to fight hard for anything. It's all been given to you.
She had to be better than any man in that position in order to keep that position. And to watch the archival footage of her and to see how ready she was and how deep her preparation, boy, that appetite's thrilling.
I'll just have a small one because I'm wanting my figure.
Margaret Thatcher was a superstar. She is known to have had this extraordinary charisma and ability to charm absolutely anybody. My first thought was, you need a superstar to play Margaret Thatcher.
This is it. Steady the buffs, old girl.
Most exciting thing is to see Meryl playing Maggie. It's a great pairing.
There's no doubt taking on this role in England was a huge challenge, and that the potential for crashing down from a great height was very high. So walking in on the first day was bad enough for me, but I was a local and I knew a lot of those actors, and my heart was racing. I can only imagine how she must have been feeling.
The right honourable gentleman knows that we had no choice but to close down the school.
There were all these wonderful British actors. I think there were about 40 or 45 of them. And I was the only woman in the room, and I sort of had the feeling Margaret Thatcher must have had when she walked into the Conservative Party.
It was amazing how she soon had everybody absolutely in the palm of her hand.
This is a day to put differences aside. to hold one's head high and take pride in being British.
It's a universal story. It's a mirror of all our lives. It's just that the life she led is so epic.
I don't think I was so aware that she would cause such a stir, and as a film it would cause such a stir, but I think it's partly the fusion of such an iconic actress and an iconic leader coming together to play that part. You know, it's dynamite, really.
One must be brave if one is to take the wheel.
Someone must say the unsayable.
If you want to change this party, lead it.
It's time to get up. It's time to go to work. It's time to put the great back into Great Britain.
It's a remarkable story, and there's no doubt, however you feel about her, that she was a phenomenally gifted politician.
Watch your actions, for they become your character.
Margaret Thatcher really did break ground.
And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny.
I'm very proud of this film.
With all due respect, sir, I have done battle every single day of my life. Shall I be mother? Tea, Al. How do you take your tea? Black or white?